if they're going to have success, right, that tri-lane really involves in the fact that PPD is the best support Jakiro out there.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he is probably as good as Fog used to be on that hero, or maybe even a little better. Because Jakiro's spells, the reason that he's run, the reason that he and Veno almost have to be run as cores now is because there's the scaling on their spells just sucks.
Yes.
With Veno, it's worse than Jakiro, but Jakiro's is pretty bad. Like, level 1 Ice Path is shit.
Yeah, it's not very good. It used to be amazing, but
exactly.
not
I really wish they hadn't nerfed it.
Well,
anyway,
that's the way it goes. But also, if this is going to be a mid lane Luna, when was the last time you've seen a mid Luna? Which at this point, it doesn't necessarily appear to be. It looks like Fear is going to go mid. And
okay.
This is the thing. They're going to give Arteezy a hero that he can farm with, and they want to give Fear a hero that he can make plays with. And this is something that PPD talked about, is just making sure that you have rule switches available to your roster, and making sure that you can kind of just, change things around when you need to. And this is very important for the EG lineup, in my opinion.
I completely agree, and I think that's becoming a necessary part of the current metagame, that if, assuming 6.82 doesn't just totally turn the house upside down, which is a big assumption, if we end up in anything like the current meta, I think more and more teams are going to have to do this, because the laning phase is so important. I mean, role flexibility it just gives you so much of an advantage. I mean, it's like poker, going into a table and having your opponents know the style that you're going to play versus not. Not giving away information is so important.
It absolutely is. And, of course, we are going to jump into the match here, this best-of-3 series. Game number 1, and, well, this might be one of the last times we look at the map in its current form.
Oh, man.
We have no idea when the patch is going to drop, but...
Yeah, it is on the test client, so if you guys want to go, and there are screenshots already up, if you want to go and play with the new map, you can download the test client, and it apparently is all there. It's going to be... It's nuts, man. Please. I can't believe that.
We were asking for that change for a while, though. We were all like, okay, we really need Dota to not be the way it is right now. Just like change it in any way possible, and they changed it a lot.
I was never like that with the map. I think the map is fine the way it is. The one thing I think that I might really like about it is the fact that I think the Radiant offlane might not be so ridiculously easy now, and that might counterbalance some of the fact that the Roche pit is a little bit more even. But still, I think the asymmetry of the map adds to the metagame, not subtracts from it. But again, a lot of people don't share that opinion, and that's fine.
We're going to start out here. MJW or Bananas in your face. Going to be your offlane, dude. He's going to get... Oh,
he's already going on. Wow.
Scorched Earth going through, and that's a lot of damage. That's Dual Breath level 1. He has to pop the Scorched Earth, but he stays alive just fine. So already they're asserting their dominance over this lane here. In the mid lane, Fear is up against a pretty tough matchup in Snaking, but we'll see if he can get things done. Right now he's got a point in Gale, point in Sting as well. He's getting Static Link, and Snaking just going to deal some easy damage. Plasma Field, which doesn't hit on Fear. And Sneaking goes back to farming here. So again, it really comes down to Fear getting his, I think, Plague Wards up early on in this game.
Man, I gotta say, like, I gotta fanboy a little bit for Fear. He is one of the... I think he might be the only player that I've seen excel at all 5 roles in pro matches. I really love that.
I mean, for someone that's been around this long, you expect him to be this good at Dota, but it's always impressive to see when he can play some of these heroes, and he's doing that right now. Obviously, still, it's early on in the game. We'll have to see if he thrives on this Venomancer. Down bottom, Universe is going to be your offlane Tidehunter, getting harassed down by Fog down your Ancient Apparition. We'll have Korok on your Central Whirlwind. We'll have Pink Panda, which is, I believe, going to be
that's way too sexy.
On your Rubik, and one of his standby heroes, I think, on the Rubik right now.
Absolutely.
Snake King. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting match. The Universe is going to run right into Fog. Fog goes up to the high ground for whatever reason. He didn't put a ward down. I'm not sure. He does get the 2-minute rune, however, which is the illusion rune, and he'll scout some Dire Ancients out with this. I believe we'll just block them just to make sure they're not getting stacked.
Now, we talked a lot, by the way, about EG's laning decisions and not so much about NaVi US. I actually really like the one-position Centaur here. I think Centaur is a hero that comes online early, gives you tactical options in the mid-game, and he's a better late-game hero than people think. I mean, if you saw the crazy game the other day with Fnatic and VP, where I believe, Fnatic had VP's thrown down to 70 HP, Centaur's return dealt a ridiculous amount of damage in that match. If this hero gets strength items online, Snaking gets scaled up. Probably not in danger here, but the harass is pretty strong.
Yeah, the Static Link, and look at the Fear right click coming out. He might dive this for the first blood. He's looking for the follow-up. Poison Sting coming out. Fear, maybe a little too deep, taking tower hits. Looks like he might get the kill. Plasma Field. Fear does get first blood. He sacrifices himself for the first blood, but it's certainly worth it. An excellent pickup coming out from Fear here in this mid lane.
Yeah, that leaves him a full level ahead of the Razor, and that's right at that 3-minute mark, right at the time where getting that first blood will hit you to level 5 over their level 4. That's hugely valuable. I mean, I can't believe Fear is doing that well in this lane. The CS gap isn't even that big.
About that bottom tower.
Yeah, I mean, that's just an impressive play. To also just be able to zone out that static link and use that Gale effectively to do so. Snaking is now going to have a rough time here for the foreseeable future because level 3 Plague Wards, it's going to start getting difficult here for Snaking rather quickly. And Gale's going to go again. Fear wants to try to fight this. Plasma Field going to fly. And this is a hero that is damn good in this current meta. And Fear is just tearing him apart. Snaking having kind of a rough time, so...
I'm a little bit surprised that the supports of NaVi US have not looked to roam because they've done that so effectively in the last few matches that I've seen. But, you know, again, I feel like some of that is just this kind of wacky EG lineup that it makes you question. It makes you hesitate a little bit, I feel like, especially against a team of their skill. I don't know. I'm a little bit surprised. You're seeing Fog move around the map a little bit on his AA. He did get the last couple of runes, but they feel like they've been a little too passive to me in the early game. He might try to set up for something on Fear here.
Yeah, Fear is getting wrapped on right now by Fog. He does have the invisibility. He also has the chilling touch, and I think there is enough damage to bring Fear down if they do catch him out of position, but he's staying pretty far back now, and top lane's also getting hampered. The tier 1 tower taking a big hit here, and it looks like Arteezy is looking to get the last hit early on, and this is exactly what he's doing. He does get the last hit, 1,000 gold in the bank, and he is leading the CS charts, not by much. Korok is kind of close behind him, and he's looking to get that early Blink Dagger. And again, it's Korok's type of hero, so this works out really well for NaVi US.
Well, and Arteezy, by the way, is just kind of farming his face off up here and really hasn't been threatened much, if at all. I mean, you can see he feels comfortable going all the way down to the Tier 2 tower, mostly due to the passivity that the NaVi US supports have shown so far in this match. And that's kind of, you know, they've let Fear get all he wants out of this mid lane and Arteezy all he wants out of the top lane. They are getting farm on Korok in exchange, but you gotta wonder. You're giving up free farm essentially on a Luna in exchange for free farm on a Centaur. That's a risky trade.
I think you have to make this Blink Dagger, you know, worth it early on in the game. Meanwhile, Zai rotates mid. They're going to look for an Ice Ball here. Maybe a Snowball. That Venomous Gale going through. There's going to be the Static Link Snake about to fall. However, they get the kill with the Ice Shards. Now, it looks like Zai is in trouble here. Going down to the Scorch Earth, but the Frozen Sigil and the Plague Ward. They can't chase him down. Can they get this kill? The stick! Oh my god, that stick save! My god, the tower hit was going to kill him, but he sticks up and stays alive. Zai, what a player. And even lost 70 damage there coming out from that Razor, so unbelievable.
I am like the biggest unabashed Zai fanboy. Like, are you serious with this guy's play? Are you freaking kidding me? You lived through that? You're down behind the Radiant Tier 1 tower with how many heroes around you? Goodness gracious, that's like stupid.
I think that was 3 or 4. I'm not sure if they had the rotation over.
I think it was 3 eventually. That's ridiculous. As a support Tusk, you dive in behind the Radiant Tier 1 tower, and it's like, no big deal, guys.
That stick just paid for itself in this phase.
Oh, for sure.
He's saved up. He's like, all right, I'm gonna wait till the last tower hit. Now I use my stick. He ends up living in. He's doing pretty well for himself. He's level 4 right now. He's yet to use a Snowball here in a gank, but Ice Shards are going to come in. They miss on Snaking. Snaking has died twice already as this mid lane Razor. They're shutting him down.
A nightmare.
I mean, he still has really good CS in comparison to that of Fear, who's only got 27, but I mean, the fact that you're dying is huge. And now, look at these rotations over from EG. They're looking to be a part of something here. Universe is 5, no 6 yet, but he has Gush if he needs to. Snaking gets galed up. There's the Poison Sting from the Plague Ward as well. They're not going to dive this time, but still, Snaking is just like, I can't get anything done in this lane. Team, help me.
Yeah, I mean, he's not that far behind. Oh god, Fog is dead.
Ice Path Stampede, just too late. Can Zai get this kill? Ice Shards, he misses them. Oh no, but the Lucid Beam from Luna. Max range on that cast point.
And that's even worse, right? I mean, you wish that you'd been hit by, you wish you hadn't juked the Ice Shards.
They are getting everything they want out of this matchup in this game and more, honestly. With maybe the exception of Korok farming. This is just... I mean, you look at Arteezy, he's got 56 last hits down this top lane, and they're looking to take a tier 2 tower, all for a 7-minute and 42-second Blink Dagger for Korok. He has to make this work, otherwise this game is going to go south very quickly.
I mean, I gotta ask you, man, do you feel like NaVi US are playing a little scared here?
I think that's the case. There's the Eclipse coming through. Korok gets caught up the ice path. He blinked too far forward. He might die to the liquid fire. Now the snowball coming through, trying to save Arteezy's life. We'll see if he can get out. The stun coming in. Arteezy not going to get the Lucid Beam. Off Die getting brought down low. Yeah. And they lose Korok, yes, but they do get the 2 kills. And the most important of being on Arteezy as well, so...
Yeah, and most importantly, Snaking is over and is involved in those kills, right? So he picks up a little bit of XP. He's now nearly back to XP parity with Fear here in this mid lane. That was a big exchange for them. That was really the first big exchange that had gone their way, and they needed it, right? Especially the kill on Arteezy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that stops him from farming for, you know, without that death. He probably goes, you know, 75, 80 CS at 10 minutes. Maybe not 80, but still, he'd be in a pretty good
big
situation.
Smoke rotation coming in here. Snaking is dead if he doesn't spot this out.
I mean, PP, or rather, Waitu, getting spotted first. They do break the smoke now.
They're going to go for him. He's already low on HP.
Lucid Beam and
Radiant's mid towers.
Good snowball coming out from Zai. They grab an easy kill, and yet Snaking's woes continue, and they'll try to pressure down this tier 1 tower, which is rather low, and it's going to go down to Fear yet again. 9 minutes in. 2 towers down. The tier 2 in the top lane also at about 170 HP or so. And this is just EG's game right now. They show no signs of stopping in terms of just balling out of control and being able to get a couple of kills and tower last hits.
Yeah, but I mean, this is kind of what I mean about Snaking, what I was saying earlier. Like, first of all, I think he's an incredible player, but you do question sometimes the decisions that he makes to stay out of the map at 30% HP. Little initiation here. Korok's going to
need ice shards. I'm not so sure. Oh, the snowball not going yet, but there's the venomous kill. He's going to try to TP out. No such luck. Korok, you are done, my friend. And that's Zai getting involved in yet another kill. Not even using Ravage's Universe, which he has it now, and he's level 7. In this game, again, Korok goes down in that bottom lane. So.
Yeah, this is spiraling out of control. I mean, you've got to somehow find the space to get a fight in here as NaVi US. Okay, there you go. This is a big kill if they can get. They need to lock down Arteezy somehow.
Yeah, they will convert the kill on Arteezy.
Trade a tower for it, though.
Yeah, Arteezy for tier 1 tower. I'm not sure if Arteezy's really mindset yet. You talked about efficiency and how E farms a bit too out of position and gets caught out. But, I mean, that's a trade that he's willing to make in that situation, I think.
Right.
Although Snaking does put pressure on the tier 1 tower mid, but he realizes that there might be a gank coming towards him. They smoke up after the tier 1 tower, and now you've got to be careful if you're NaVi US. This is a gank that you should understand is coming. I mean, they're all off the map right now. You have no vision of them. You have some okay observer wards, but you've got to be very careful. And a smart play from NaVi US. Just back up with the TP rotations back home. There's no reason to get caught out of position, and really good to understand that they're off the map right now for EG.
Yeah, this is where, when I brought up Vici Gaming and NewBie in the draft, I feel like there are 3 teams right now, EG, Vici, and NewBie, that do this. They're just constantly rotating around the map. It's just got to feel up against them like you just don't have room to breathe. Because it's always a smoke, it's always a backdoor rotation. They're always accomplishing something with every one of their team. And it sounds like a small thing, but you always feel like you're under pressure.
Yeah, and this is you asked me earlier about NaVi US feeling scared, and I think absolutely they do. Everywhere they go on the map, they're getting caught out of position, and finally they are the ones dictating play by getting that kill on Arteezy in the top lane, and now trying to pressure this tier 1 in the mid lane, but this is going to be at the cost of a tier 2 in their top lane, and the Glyph already goes, so if EG want to TP back independence, they have to TP, because Arteezy also has his Eclipse up and ready to go, and I think will fight this here. Another TP coming in, that'll be from PPD, and now you have to back off from NaVi US, lest you be caught out and well killed.
And there's no way that they're going to expect an engagement coming in from this angle. Oh, beautiful. That was fortunate. That was fortunate by Clark. Very nice blink.
He almost got caught out of position. He does stay alive and backs away. And, you know,
okay, they did have a ward up here. All right. Okay. That was very good on their part.
Just realizing that they were rotating through towards the mid lane. I think if you're EG, you might be able to TP and catch a couple of arrows out of position, but not without a blink tech, which I think Universe has coming out to him now. Yeah, so 12-minute blink for a tide, which is, it's an off-lane tide. It's not the easiest thing to accomplish. A lot of that coming through towers, obviously, but still. Impressive nonetheless. Stampede here might get caught on here. He's going to use his Poison Nova, and Stop is going to come through. Telekinesis, Ice Blast as well, and they will bring Fear down, but now there's the Ice Path, beautifully done on Korok, and they will get the kill. Boom, PPD on the killing spree now. Well played. And actually, Waitu has to TP out now. Bananas in your face getting chased down. The Universe is like, nah, I don't have Gush. We don't need to get this kill.
And this is the thing about games like this. You look up and the kill score is only 7-5 in favor of EG. So you're like, okay, close game, right?
Well, now when you look at the net worth chart and it's not the graph. Oh man, that's changed quickly.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, even though some of these engagements have been trades and NaVi US has gotten kills in exchange, I mean, you look at the net worth chart and it's almost just with a couple of kinks there. It's a straight line.
Yeah, just a downward line, downward spiral, I would say, but that's not even the case. It's actually just NaVi US getting absolutely obliterated in this game, and
yeah,
they've got to find a way
to
get back into this.
Top up here, and this is a big deal. They have to get something done on these rotations. I mean, you know, killing Arteezy again, it may not be the right trade for some of these for getting up towers, but a kill here is huge.
I need to try to help him out, but there's definitely too much there. They threw everything at him, and he does fall. So Doom used again, but I mean, if you're securing kills with Doom, at least you're getting something out of it. So he's done for another 25 seconds, and the thing is, though, he already does have his Yasha up, so I mean...
Oh man, Fear's going to have a pipe here before long, and that's going to be trouble. Early pipe on their lineup is very, very good.
Universe, Korok, actually, I think he destroyed that Gush. Nicely done there coming out as he blinked away immediately. Bottom lane, maybe we're looking for Zai, but Zai's just going to back up. He's level 8 and he hasn't gotten Walrus Punch, so... interesting decisions being made coming out from Zai here. Now he skills it up finally, but... Yeah,
and the Medallion Rush is just absolutely wonderful. I mean, the Medallion has about a 64% win rate on the Dire side in this version. It's just... It's such a good item, just for the Roshan alone, really.
Yeah, I mean... We'll give them that advantage to get into the Roche Pit, and with the damage they have through, I mean, Arteezy, Plague Ward's obviously pretty nice. They can easily take Roshan quickly, and there's also a double damage rune that Fear grabs. That's the second of the game. He just got a double damage rune. He's got to pick yet another one, so...
Wow.
RNG Ice Frog is with Fear today, but let's see if they can close this one out. They're looking for tier 2 towers. They still have, I mean, there's this wide lead, but it's not like NaVi US are completely out of it. Snaking is still not at his mech yet. That's really the biggest issue, I think, and I mean, without a mech at 15 minutes in, this is very far behind.
Yeah, he desperately needs that last 200 gold because I don't think they can take a fight without this mech at all, and he might get caught out again here.
Yeah, they actually circled down here in this area. They have no idea that he's already, you know, over to the side shop and TPing out. So Snaking with some good map awareness gets away and gets out of harm's way. But I mean, again, they have to play secure. They can't even move that far out of the map without getting ganked here because of great map control coming out from EG. I mean, these are some good Observer Ward places as well. Mid lane, Fear going right on top of Fog. He drops the Ice Blast, and it looks like Fog might go down to the Poison Sting here. And they will deny him, but he still does die. So nice play from Snaking at the least to get in there and deny him.
Yeah, and Snaking, okay, so it looks like Snaking with 30 gold left to go will probably have his mech unless he gets picked off by Fear here with a DE rune. That's kind of scary, man.
He's got that Venomous Gale ready to go, but nope, Snaking just hits the top rune spot. Luckily finds out the Invis rune, and well, here's the trade that we see so often. A tier 1 tower for Roshan. I mean, it happens in almost every Dota game I've seen in the past couple of months. So.
And it is incredible at this point, and especially considering the towers that they are trading, it is incredibly unfavorable. And you know, if you were any less behind, you would try and take those 3 heroes and push ahead to the tier 2 tower. But they know the situation they're in. They can't afford to get caught 3v4, 3v5 right now. They would just get killed instantly.
You know, the good thing is that Roshan isn't falling as easily as you would like. So. You look at
I thought with the Medallion that they'd have him down a little bit sooner, but they didn't really have anybody there to tank it, I guess.
No, you know, I'm the Dominator for lifesteal for Luna either. So I mean,
a little bit surprised they don't have PPD's Jakiro up there for the Liquid Fire.
No, well. Either way, I mean, PPD's actually just farming away the other lanes of the jungle currently. It looks like he'll be going for Yule's next, I'd imagine, or Force Staff. Yule's is the item that you see, the go-to item on Jakiro in the past patch
Yule's
or so.
Jakiro is just wonderful. It really is. The hero is kind of like an artillery anyway, and just that little extra move speed with the mana regen is really, really good. Mm-hmm. And by the way, just please build Urn. Like, not enough people build Urn. If you're playing a pub game and your team doesn't have an Urn, you're probably doing something wrong, dude.
Like, it's so good for sieging also. Just, you know, okay, just put some pressure on some towers, get back, Urn up, and
Exactly. That's the biggest single thing right now is you've got to have sustain because the game is all about these pushes. You've got to have some device to sustain all of them. That's why, you know, Mech Razor, Mech Viper is such a huge thing. That's why Mech is getting nerfed, right? Earn is a poor man's Mech, and in some cases can be even better.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so useful in many situations. Speaking of Earn, your carrier PvP is going to get Ice Blast. If Fade Bolt's in, they're going to jump on him, Stampede, Doom, Plasma Field. They throw everything at him, and they finally get the kill.
We got him, boys.
Yeah, we did it. That's 2 ultimates used, and they lose the tier 2 tower bottom because of it, although they gained the tier 1 in the mid lane. And that is a Midas for a Doom as well, by the way. So they're really, I mean, it's not surprising that a Doom has a Midas in this game, but still, there's not much that they can do if they lose in the next couple of minutes or so, because the Doom Midas isn't really paying off just yet, so he does have a Blink Dagger, however, though, which is nice.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I guess I don't have that big a problem with it because of the Blink, and frankly, you're probably not going to win this game as NaVi US anytime in the next 15-20 minutes anyway. Your only path back into this game is to try and force it late and farm up a little bit. Most of these heroes, with the exception of the Luna, do fall off for EG. So I can see it. It's much more of a... It's not even a catch-up Midas, though. This is a desperation Midas.
Yeah, I'm not sure when he picked that up, but I think he's had it for some time. And
yeah.
The only other thing now on the other side is that RTZ does have his BKB completed. He has his Yasha. I mean, he could just wait till he gets his Manta and then they could push in, but by that point maybe the Aegis is gone, so I think they probably pressure here in the next couple of minutes and just try to take it tier 2 and then get to the high ground.
Yeah, there's no they've got all the tools they want. Fear's gonna have his he has his pipe up now. He actually has his Aghanims toward his point booster toward his Aghanims, other way around. They've got all the tools they need really to push here, and they have plenty of room for growth left. Like I said, you know, NaVi US really need to win realistically probably about 2 or 3 straight fights to give themselves a real chance here.
I mean, they're down so far, and actually they have climbed back into it a bit for network. I mean, it's 5,000 in favor of VG still, which is not nearly as bad as the 7,500 they had a moment ago. But
you're always going to see that, though. I mean, that's kind of a, even with this relatively early game heavy lineup. I mean, unless it just turns into a complete stomp with them throwing a couple of fights, which NaVi did execute in some engagements to prevent that, they're going to stagnate a little bit, right, while the last outer, after the last, or as the last outer towers go down.
Radiant's mid towers.
There it goes. Fear does get the last tier 2 for NaVi US, and now Korok's actually getting wrapped on here. Ice Path misses, and Korok is going to try to get out here, but Magical Pyra, Ice Shards, he forces himself away. Stampede going as well. Dual Breath, Universe looking for Ravage, he's going to find it. You guys can follow up as well. There's the Snowball, the Ice Path perfectly on point. Liquid Fire, stop, only hits on Universe, now Blinking Walrus Punch from Zai. And they're using a lot just to get this kill, but they do finally pick a Korok, who is now down for 42 seconds. A really great pickup there coming out from those 3 heroes.
Yeah, but that was well played by Korok, both to make the kill as expensive as possible for them and to spend all his gold before he died. So, you know, that's, well, not all of it, but most of it in picking up the broadsword and chainmail toward his blade mail. So I don't necessarily have a problem with that. I mean, you make that kill as expensive as you can. He's going to be up before they reach the high ground, but Snaking really cannot afford to give up a kill here.
No, he's in an okay position, although Zai's looking to blink down and Walrus Punch and all that jazz. But he needs another hero, I think, to be involved in this kill. And, yeah, you mentioned that they use a lot for that kill. There's no Ravage up now. So even if they wanted to push high ground, I don't think they would. Or even if they could, rather. Because it's just, they're in a position now where they get a kill, yes, but it's more so just to make sure that Korok can't farm freely. Snake King is I think, the bigger target here, the bigger threat, because he almost has Aghanim Scepter, and for NaVi US to have an Axe on your Razor is maybe a comeback mechanic here. But yeah, I don't know if it's enough.
The issue for them is going to be that Razor is going to finish up his Aghanim soon, but Fear is making some progress toward his as well. And that's, at this point in the game, with the hero levels that they have going on NaVi US, I mean, Korok is okay here, but he's only level 11. And Ag's Veno ult is going to hurt a lot.
Can you imagine if he gets that to level 3?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about right now. I mean, unfortunately, the way experience scales, the distance between level 13 and 16 is substantial. But yeah, if this is the thing, you think about Venomancer ordinarily falling off. at around this point in the game, Fear is not close to falling off right now. He's got another at least 10 or 12 minutes where he's going to be very, very strong.
And he will continue to farm in the top lane while the rest of his team pressures through the mid and jungle into that bottom lane. There's the Manta style coming out for RTZ that we were talking about. So his next item is done, and this is what RTZ loves to do. He just loves to farm and hit creeps, and he's going to try to do so. He's going to head to the H of the stack as well. Korok is making his way to an area where he previously died, although now he's in an okay position where he should live just fine. Universe does have his Ravage, by the way, back up and ready to go. And the rest of the NaVi US squad are going to sit top lane, and there's the Aghanim Scepter coming up for the Razor as well. So, again, now it's just about controlling the map here for EG, making sure that NaVi US can't get too far outside of their base, and kind of just starving them from getting any other kills or last hits. So.
Yeah, and you kind of said the key word, though, map control. If you just could draw a line, right, of the paths of the different players in the last few minutes. So Fear's going to go down here.
Okay, it's Bravo. Done.
Wow. Interesting decision by him. I thought he stuck around there. He knew that NaVi US had a presence in that lane too, and he stuck around there pretty long. I'm a little bit surprised by that, but again, I still feel like EG are getting the better trades around the map. They're just able to control so much more real estate right now.
That's the thing. Honestly, just this actually pushing this in gives RTZ even more creeps to farm here in the top lane. Just another easy access point coming out for this Luna, and at some point. And LD talks about this a lot, but this Luna is going to hit Godzilla level. Like, there's not really much you can do to stop a Luna that is, 6-slotted. It doesn't happen. You have a Satanic, you have a Butterfly, you have a Manta BKB, bots, and another item. I don't know what. I'm sure I'm missing something here. But
there are heroes that can do it, and one of them is the Doom. Okay, that's... People really tend to underestimate how good Doom is in the late game. I mean, Doom has, like... this crazy almost 70% win rate when games go past like I think it's either 40 or 50 minutes. One of them is 65 and the other is 70, but he is really, really good in theory against EG's lineup, because EG, if the game gets late enough, will have not that much apart from the Luna. The thing is, it is just going to take so long to get there, and I just... NaVi US is going to have to pull off a couple of really, really good fights to generate that kind of time in this match.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is going to be the game for it either, especially Korok has played okay, but I don't know if it's been well enough. We talk about how good that heat can be, and in this game it's just been kind of rough for pretty much every hero in NaVi US. You can see, honestly, Fog was getting run down by Illusions, and he was complaining about it in all chat, so... he is building towards an Ags, and he has his point booster, so he's well on his way, but he still needs a couple more fights or even just some CS to get there. Snaking backing off some nice, again, map awareness to realize that the rest of the EG are coming through. And Zai has down with Vitality booster, so we'll see what he builds towards next. He already has to go down like we talked about. Meta-style illusions are pushing at top pretty far, and Bananas is actually taking a decent chunk of damage just from the one, even with Scorched Earth pop, so... Oh boy, Stampede?
Oh, okay, it's a kill, man. I'll take it.
He gets brought down low. They steal Ice Path. One of the best spells to steal in the game, alongside obviously, Burrow Strike.
Fisher.
And, everything really. I mean,
and Split Earth, right? That 0 cast point on the Rubik is so important when he steals those kinds of spells.
Yeah.
Interesting to me. They are going to finally. PPD was in the process anyway, and it just finished up his mech when he got killed. I actually thought that they would skip that item entirely. I thought one of the better decisions in this game to me is Fear rushing that pipe. When ordinarily you see a mech, he says, nope, there's an AA on their team, that mech doesn't do me any good, that pipe is terrific.
Yeah, that pipe is huge, but the thing that I have a problem with is that they're not really using it. They're not pushing in, they're not really grabbing any kills with the Pipe of Insight, helping them out to defend from that Ice Blast, so...
I'm a little surprised, right? EG have felt like they've kind of let up on the gas a little bit in the last few minutes, and again, it's hard to fault them too much for that when RTZ is getting so big. But at the same time, they do need to recognize, which I'm sure they do, that they do have a limited window. And I think Veno's Ags being up, Shiro's mech is now up. This might signal kind of the beginning of the end. They may go for the finisher here, especially with the Aegis on RTZ.
Yeah, the Roshan is going to be really an important note. And they're going to let the tier 2 tower go. And I mean, NaVi US know exactly what's happening now. They have an understanding that they're taking Roshan, but they'd rather just take the tier 2 tower. Snakey will push into the tier 3 and maybe get some chip damage on that tower, but at that point, Roshan's going to go down. Arteezy will have the Aegis, and it's time for them to defend the tower. And yep, Snakey just puts like 1 or 2 hits in the tower, backs up, and that's going to be it for that tower pressure. So now you just push out top. Bottom lane's already getting pushed in here. And Korok will have to defend it. Mid lane's already pressured as well, so get all of the lanes pushed in and then go for a tier 3 tower, whether that's top, whether that's mid, whether that's bottom. That remains up to EG, and they have all of the items, which we talked about before. They have all of the items to make this work now.
Yeah, I mean, apart from Arteezy just going ham in a couple of fights and getting another couple thousand gold, you're probably not going to be any stronger relative to the opponent than you are right now. This next couple of minutes is pretty much do or die for NaVi US, and they probably need to win more than one fight.
They're in an okay position to take a fight right now. They can get Shahir out of position, and that's PPD. He actually gets telekinesis. He's trying to force step on the below ground. Gets stomped up. He is going to fall, and that BKB was popped as well for the Doom. So that's just knowing that everyone is split up here for EG. But Zaya and Fear, it looks like they want to fight right now. Snaking might get caught out. There's Poison Sting. Ice Shard's going as well. Meanwhile, jumping from the universe. Doom onto him. Poison Nova is going to fly. That does a lot of damage. Ice Blast sailing through. Misses on Universe. Like, no, he did get hit by it and will fall. And that's Ball getting the kill. Snaky getting low. There's the Walrus Punch. Snaky still alive, barely. Zaya now getting brought down low. The Ice Path was stolen. 3 down, and EG are now feeding away kills to NaVi US, making this game a lot more even than it needs to be.
And that is so much, that's even better than winning a fight at your base steps, right? They engaged on their terms down to the jungle. I did not think that they were going to make that offensive rotation, but I absolutely love it. It shows a great recognition of the game situation. You know you're going to have to win a fight. Why would you wait for them to come to you if you can engage on your terms? And starting the fight with a kill on PPD there, that was really, really nice. It robs them a lot of that AoE control. They were able to take him out before he got any of his spells out, and they were able to get the Doom off on Universe and just barely nicked at the edge of that Ice Blast, which removed him from the fight as well. That was as good an engagement as NaVi US could possibly have had right there.
Yes, and that wasn't necessarily EG playing poorly, although I feel like the decision to engage off of that was maybe a mistake. Yeah. I think that on top of that gives Fog pretty much his Aghanim Scepter, and well, Waitsu might just ruin it all by getting caught out. He's going to telekinesis, but it looks like he will fall. He is going to use the Walrus Punch, which he stole, which was cute, but does nothing. Ice Blast! Only connects on Fear. No, actually misses everybody. That's huge. And now they're going to pressure the tier 3 tower bottom. So as bad as a fight as they've just had, they don't even care. They're going to go for the high ground now with Arteezy having his Aegis. So
yeah, Korok finishes his heart, and Waitsu does have buyback here.
And there we go. Buyback from the Rubik, although maybe not that big of a deal. I think if Snake can get died and had buyback, that'd be a bit more important wasting that, obviously. But he doesn't even have buyback at this point. None of the real cores from Ultimate Doom for NaVi US have buyback, so. And there's the Mantis style going to work now in the tier 3 tower, so. Again, it's siege time, I think, here for EG.
Yeah, I feel like if AC were here, we'd be talking about saber rattling, because that's kind of what's going on. Arteezy, boy, it's still. This is the thing that I really appreciate about him, that he just keeps making progress, regardless of what the team's doing. He's going to keep making that progress toward the next item, almost as his butterfly on one.
He's one of the most efficient players in that regard. I mean, a lot of people talk about efficiency, and I think he's one of the best. He's going to just walk right into Snaking with the static. When Ice Blast is going to sail through, it's going to hit on Universe. It looks like Arteezy does get hit up by it. Snaking BKBs as well. Fear not pipe. He does get off his Poison Nova. Macro Power coming in. Snowball as well. Doom was up. They're going to try to fight this. Fear needs to get away, but will fall. Zai goes down as well. 2 for 0 trade. Now Snake getting brought low by the Flames, but not nearly enough damage. They won't kill anybody, although bringing them all low with that Poison Nova. Universe wants this Ravage. He's going to pop it. No, he finally does get it off. He gets 1 kill, a double kill now coming through. And 2 for 2 trade in the end. He does pop it at the bitter end of that fight. I didn't think he was going to use it there. He canceled it twice before actually using it. They still can't get the tier 3 tower, but that was a man fight if I've ever seen one. My God.
I just have to catch my breath after that.
Oh, Universe out. All right, that hurts. I don't
he
think
should
he's
be
dead,
okay.
But yeah, he's fine.
There's no Ags yet up. Oh no, Fog does have his Ags. Oh.
Yeah, but I don't think it's gonna kill him. I'd be very surprised. Yeah, it's not gonna kill him.
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine.
Still annoying for Universe. That's a butterfly now done for Arteezy as well at 31 minutes in. And
that's, to me, it's something that is important to think about, because a lot of times when you see other teams it sort of ball up and make those pushes like that, their carries have stopped farming. And just the fact that Arteezy is still making progress toward his next item. Oh boy.
Oh,
that was actually so
my
close.
God. Okay. Whew. Fog's like, I had him, but now they have an understanding of his reward here, although it's going to go down anyways in about 25 seconds, so no need to counter it. But yeah, at this point, Aegis is getting repinned in another 30 seconds, and I don't think EG are going to fight without an Aegis in this game.
I don't think they will. Like even though it's getting close to the point where they maybe should think about it. Well, okay, never mind. I think they can now.
That is a refresher orb done, and we see this every time, is that Universe is able to pick up that refresher orb on like 30 minutes on the spot. Although it's 32 now, it's still just, he times that so well. They could find this farm, and well, now they could definitely really get some damage out here. I mean, you have a couple of BKBs, yes, coming out for your US squad, but oh, Zai blinking in, gets doomed. He's gonna fall instantly, it looks like, and now you have to think twice about fighting here for EG. Zai does buyback and TPs in. They want to take an engagement here, but they cannot find anybody. A hasty buyback from Zai coming in.
This is fine though. They can. No, I like it. They can still just ball up and push, and Universe can be as aggressive as he wants, basically.
Zai using the ice shards does catch Snaking. He is actually in a lot of trouble here. Snowball is gonna go. It has Universe inside of it. Meanwhile, there's the BKB flying. Another one as well. Universe getting caught out. He does get ice blasted as well. He's gonna fall in just a second here. He should shatter down to the ice blast. He goes down to Snaking's right click, and they get the courier kill. Beautifully done for Snaking. Fear now trying to make his way out of there. There's going to be the cold feet coming in, the macro pyre. They do pop the pipe of insight, and Fear does survive, but it just feels like EG are not finding the right engagements. And they're going to try to fight.
A little bit over aggressive by Zai there.
Snaking is just going to TP away nicely.
It's just a little bit too over-aggressive by Zai there. It's a good idea to try to catch Snaking up, but you know, I mean, at this point, right, 3 of their heroes have Blink. Okay, well, no, two of them have Blink, and Rubik's got a 4-staff. But still, when you've got a Doom that can blink in on your Tide, you got to be awfully careful, Refresh Orb or no, you got to be awfully careful about grabbing Tidehunter and that Snowball. I sort of was questioning that as it happened. It looked like it might end up being a big play, but that's the right play. I mean, basically, the whole NaVi US team sort of stayed out of that, with the exception of Bananas on the Doom that blinked right in and locked down Universe.
Yeah, that was a really smart play, and I think the real big issue for EG is locking this Doom down. And at the beginning of the game, when you talked about how Doom was this late-game type of hero, I was kind of like, I don't know if it's going to help them. I mean, they're pretty far behind in this situation, but the more I'm looking at this right now for MKW,
at the net worth graph.
Yeah, I mean,
are you kidding me?
They're right back into it. NaVi US have now evened things up, and we haven't talked about this in a while because EG honestly hasn't really participated in it, but is the throw real? I mean, they have that courier. Fear is using it, I believe. Bottom lane, Zai gets put out yet again. Ice shards, 4-stepped in. He's going to try to use the snowball and get out of there, but they're actually just kind of being very passive about this. He will make a way.
Yeah, I mean, but how the tables have turned. I mean, NaVi US now the ones forcing the action. This is a nice little split push here by Arteezy, but you got to be a little careful because NaVi US can force a fight.
And they want to. They TP Arteezy back, and actually that just signals the retreat of Snaking. And now EG are like, listen, we don't want to get too over-aggressive here. They could have maybe tried to fight on the back end of that, but they decide against it. Now Roshan should be up in another minute and a half, so that's going to be another point of protection.
It ends up being a really big deal that EG's mid T2 and both of their bot lane towers are still up. This is a huge Roshan advantage that they've got.
And that's the one thing, they might be in a position right now where they're starting to lose the momentum, but they always have that access to Roshan. Assuming they don't lose a hero or two on the back end of a bad fight, they can take that Roshan pretty much whenever they want to. Other than, obviously, NaVi US smoking, there's not much they can do about it, so...
No, and that's kind of the thing. We've seen EG take so many games late that looked a little bit shaky by leveraging that Roshan advantage. I still remember, we referred to it in the last series, that incredible Smash Brewmaster game where they pushed the game out and they had a Weaver on the Dire side with the Roche pit, and that was pretty much the difference.
And it may be, yet again, in this game, that the difference maker, their late game carrier, Arteezy, playing the Luna, so... He's got 4,000 gold to make as well, so
yeah,
he's farmed.
He's mega farmed, but again, they really, in some sense, they aren't going to have another core here in another little while, because Fear, as well as he's played and as effective as that Aghanims has made him, he is going to fall off here eventually.
You've seen it already. He's gotten caught out a couple of times, and he just kind of has to back up. And even if he gets his Poison Nova off, like, how much is that doing for them? Yeah, they're getting them really low for NaVi US, but how many are they killing off the back end of Poison Nova?
Well,
and it's just like...
Yeah, go ahead.
It's just like you see it in practice, and you see that the Poison Nova can do some work here if they get the perfect fight, but NaVi US has made him not necessarily useless, but they've dealt with him effectively in this game. So
yeah, I'm glad I took time to check that, because I was about to say you got to remember that Veno becomes effective again later in the game, potentially as the BKB durations get really short.
Yes.
But Snaking's BKB is still at 8 seconds, and Bananas is still at 7.
Which is actually impressive considering how much I thought they've been fighting, but no, not really that many big clashes for Bananas to pop his BKB, nor for Snaking with those long duration BKBs. That's really important. Also, can we just talk about this real quick, that BKBs, you cannot buy a second one in the next patch. I want to throw that out there. That's kind of ridiculous to me, but
yeah, I like it. I mean, I thought that there were probably other, maybe better ways to nerf the item, but I kind of think that item is still BS.
10 seconds of pure match community. Very interesting, but, well, we no longer from buying a second one. And they will try to separate Sean again, but again, Snaking's going to try to pressure the top lane, and they actually might get more chip damage on this tier 3 tower. No, maybe not, actually. The creep wave does come out, and they did get the Ice Blast off, but no contention coming out from NaVi US. They don't want to try to, defend this or fight this. They don't want to try to deal with it, and Universe actually does pick up the cheese here, which is very nice. Assuming he doesn't lose, but again, that's a big if. So
that's kind of the question, though, that I was about to ask. I guess because it's the third Roshan and you have cheese, it's a moot point. But at some point, you got to ask the question: when do you start giving that Aegis to Universe? Because he's been getting doomed and just taken completely out of these fights. I mean, I don't think we've seen him pop the double Ravage yet.
No, he has yet to get it off, and that's actually a good point. I'm not sure. I think at this point, our team is just too big of a hero to let go down. And now that he has a heart too, he doesn't even go for a satanic. He just goes straight for a heart. But I think heart's an okay item in this situation. I think this is a smart decision from him.
I mean, I think that hinges on the presence of the AA.
Yeah,
I think that without the AA in the game, you definitely go for satanic. But I agree with your assessment that the heart here is probably the way to go.
So RTZ is level 20, and now, as aggressive as EG was in the first 10 minutes of this game, the last 20 have been purely passive. However, Korok is going to get caught out by a Lucidity. He cannot blink now. He is going to pop the play. No, he does have Stampede. They missed the Ice Path there. That was going to be a huge Ice Path had it connected, but no such luck, and he will get away scot-free for the most part. And the Ice Blast hits on RTZ. So.
Yeah. A little bit surprised, by the way, that we haven't seen Korok go for a BKB here. I certainly appreciate the AC or Mjolnir build. Either one probably will be an AC. Oh no, he is going to go for the Mjolnir. Okay,
that's not lightning.
I mean, hey, got to ride the lightning, my man. But I feel like, you have been locking down Universe, getting the Doom off on him before he gets the Ravage. But it's only a matter of time, man. There is going to be one of these fights where Universe is able to hit that really powerful double Ravage combo. I mean, I worry a little bit, right? Because it only takes one to end the game at this point still for EG.
Yeah, I mean, they do have the buybacks, but none on Korok or on Way 2, so
yeah.
The big thing is, I think, keeping Snake King and Doom up and ready in these fights. And for the other side, EG, they're just missing a buyback on time, but they don't really need it at this point. They're going to go straight for the Tier 3 tower. Glyph is available. They will use it. Tier 3 gets rather low. Ice Path does connect to Korok, and now they're just going to try to clear the Strip Wave out here. Well, RTZ, he takes it. Ice Blast sailing through. It might not connect on anybody. They get the debuff off, but no actual hitting of the Ice Blast coming through. There's the Eclipse going in right now, looking to try to fight on Doom. Stanley going as well. Snaking Boy to lose all of that damage. There's the Walrus Punch on MJW, but no damage really being taken. And RTZ is just zoning back Snake King and Fogged as well, whereas the rest of the fight's still going on the backside. They take down the Centaur Runner, who, by the way, like we said, has no buyback. And now RTZ just gets back up the Aegis, and they're going to take the racks here. And there's now the refresher on purchase for Razor, but they're going to lose a set of racks off the back end of them losing Centaur on Korok dying. So
yeah, and my question is going to be, are they going to be able to hold the mid racks here? Because I don't know. I feel like in this situation, if you're going to buy out for an item, it almost has to be B4B. It's just such a tough thing. I understand Korok's thinking. I don't know if the risk reward is there.
They didn't get anything done with it, and Artusi just zoned out the rest of the squad so effectively that they couldn't really help out Korok and keep him alive.
Yeah.
Ice Blast is going to sail through again. It misses on most of those heroes, and there's going to be a snowball coming in now, actually just making sure that there's a lot of it. Now they're going to go right on a snaking. There's the Ravage as well. They do hit up the snowball. Refresher going as well. War is punch snaking. Is going to fall. He'll be forced to buy back. Potentially, no, they just call it GG.
No buyback. That's game, yeah. Snaking was about 500 gold short of buyback, and it's so unfortunate for NaVi US. I thought they put up a great fight in this game. Were really able to make their way back into a match that for a lot of the first 20 minutes looked like they were going to get steamrolled out of. But ultimately, that was kind of the thing. When you get off to an early game advantage like that, this is what you buy yourself. You buy yourself a situation where you can end the game with one good fight. And it took them a couple of tries, but eventually EG were able to do